They called him Orion, a calm human envoy who carried himself with quiet confidence. He stood in the grand hall of the Solarian Union, a place where soft blue lights shimmered across tall crystal walls. The floor under his boots reflected the glow of distant stars. He had traveled far from Earth to help settle a long conflict between two planetary tribes. After weeks of meetings, arguments, and long discussions, he had finally succeeded. The tribes had honored him with a ceremony, saying that they wished to express their gratitude in a way they believed matched the bravery and patience he had shown. The hall filled with voices as leaders of both tribes stepped forward. They wore shimmering robes made from woven strands of luminescent stone. Their gestures were graceful, and their voices echoed softly as they spoke. In front of Orion stood two young alien women. One belonged to the Lyra tribe, and the other to the Vana tribe. The leaders said that in their tradition, a hero was given a symbolic choice to show unity between the two. They believed that by choosing one representative to stand by his side during the final ceremony, the hero would show which tribe had earned the deeper bond of peace. They made it clear that neither woman was a prize in a harmful sense. It was a symbolic gesture, a way to honor peace. Still, the words had been translated in a way that made Orion pause. It sounded strange to him, but he understood their culture was different from his own. The two young women stepped forward. One was named Lyra. She had soft violet skin that looked like polished stone under the hall lights. Her hair was long and silver, flowing down her shoulders like a quiet river. Her eyes were calm, and there was a gentle glow inside them. She belonged to the Lyra tribe, a people known for their deep wisdom and calm minds. The other woman was named Vina. Her skin had a gentle turquoise shade, and faint patterns moved across it like drifting clouds. Her hair was dark blue and braided in long strands that shimmered when she moved. She belonged to the Vana tribe, a people known for passion, creativity, and warmth that both stood with dignity. Neither looked afraid or uncomfortable. They understood the tradition far better than he did. To them, this was a moment of honor. To Orion, it felt like a crossroads in a culture he was still trying to fully understand. The leader of the council approached and said that Orion must choose one to stand beside him during the ceremony. He explained that this would show the galaxy that trust had been restored between the two tribes. The moment required clarity. The hall waited in silence. Orion looked at the two young women. He saw not symbols, not prizes, not trophies. He saw individuals, people with lives, hopes, and their own sense of purpose. The weight of the choice settled on him in a way he had not expected. He remembered something his mentor once told him. True diplomacy was not about choosing sides. It was about finding the space where everyone felt respected. Orion felt that now more than ever. He took a slow breath. He looked first at Lyra. She stood still with her hands gently folded. Her gaze was steady. She seemed to read him well, as if she sensed his hesitation. Then he looked at Vina. Her bright eyes reflected energy and warmth. She held her chin high, proud to represent her people. Their posture showed strength. Their eyes showed self-respect. Orion knew that choosing one would send a message. But not choosing could break the tradition. He had to find a way to honor both without dishonoring either. He allowed his mind to settle. He remembered the history of the two tribes. The Lyra valued harmony and careful thought. The Vana valued action and shared emotion. For centuries, their differences had caused conflict. Now a single human stood between them, and all eyes watched to see how he would guide the moment. He took another deep breath. The hall lights dimmed slightly, signaling that the time of decision had come. The council waited. The two women waited. Even the air felt like it paused. Orion understood that the moment was not about him choosing a companion. It was about proving that unity could exist without one group being placed above the other. He stepped forward. His steps echoed softly through the crystal hall. He stopped at equal distance from both women. He bowed his head respectfully to both. His voice remained steady as he spoke. He said he had great respect for both tribes. He said he could not choose between Lyra and Vina, because doing so would make one tribe feel selected and the other feel overlooked. He said that true unity required standing together, not choosing one representative over another. He then said that if the ceremony was meant to symbolize peace, then both should stand with him. A wave of whispers filled the hall. The council shared uncertain glances. They had expected a choice. They had expected tradition to be followed. Yet Orion's words held a clarity they could not deny. Both tribes had suffered for generations. Both needed equal acknowledgement. His suggestion offered a path forward that aligned with the values of peace. Lyra stepped forward first. Her soft voice rose with calm strength. She said that the human envoy had shown wisdom. She said that unity could only be complete if both tribes stood together. Her expression carried quiet approval. Then Vina stepped beside her. She said that she agreed. She said that if this moment was about peace, then both tribes should share it. Her tone carried warm confidence. The council members exchanged looks. The hall fell silent once more. Then the eldest member, a tall figure with a robe that shimmered like starlight, stepped forward. He said that sometimes a tradition could grow. He said that perhaps the human envoy had shown them a new way to understand their own customs. He said that the ceremony could include both women if they chose to participate. Both women agreed with dignity. The hall filled with soft applause. The sound was gentle, more like rain than clapping. The energy changed, shifting from uncertainty to hope. Orion felt the tension ease from his shoulders. He allowed himself a slow breath. He had not expected his refusal to choose would carry such weight. He simply wanted to honor both sides. Yet the impact rippled through the hall like light moving across water dot. After the decision, the ceremony continued. The hall lights brightened into warm gold. A raised platform in the center lit up. Orion walked onto it, and Lyra and Vina stepped with him on either side. The platform glowed brighter as the tribes gathered around. The two women each placed a hand over the light. Orion placed his hand between theirs. A soft pulse rose from the platform, like a heartbeat made of light. The glow spread outward in circles, touching each person in the hall. It was a symbolic moment to show that all lives were connected. The tribes watched with quiet awe. For generations, they had waited for a moment like this. They had waited for someone who could bridge the gap between them. They had waited for a sign that unity was possible. Now a human, someone from a distant world, had shown them a way forward by simply refusing to let one group feel lesser than the other dot. As the ceremony ended, the hall filled with soft music. Orion stepped down from the platform. Lyra and Vina followed. People from both tribes approached him with gratitude. They spoke words of thanks. They bowed or nodded. They expressed hope for the future. Orion responded with humility. He did not feel like a hero. He felt like someone who understood how important respect was in diplomacy. When the ceremony quieted, Lyra and Vina escorted him to a private balcony overlooking the glowing forests below the crystal hall. The air outside was cool. Strange flowers glowed like tiny lanterns across the landscape. Distant floating islands drifted in slow motion. Orion breathed in the calm night air. Lyra stood to his left and Vina to his right. They both looked at him with appreciation. Lyra thanked him first. She said that he had honored her people. She said that choosing neither had been the wisest path. Vina agreed. She said that the moment had shown equality instead of division. Both women said the tribes had needed to hear that message from someone who stood outside their old conflict. Orion told them he had only done what felt right. He said he believed people deserved respect regardless of tradition. He said he hoped the decision would help the tribes move forward together. Both women smiled. Their expressions carried gratitude, but also curiosity. They asked him why humans valued equality so highly. He explained that humans had learned many lessons over their own history. They had seen what happened when groups were treated unfairly. They had learned through struggle that peace required understanding, not dominance. Lyra listened quietly, absorbing his words with thoughtfulness. Vina listened with bright interest, occasionally nodding with enthusiasm. Their different personalities balanced each other. Lyra was calm and reflective. Vina was expressive and warm. Orion appreciated them both. They stood together on the balcony for a long moment. The night sky above them stretched wide and full of stars. Orion wondered how many of those stars held their own civilizations. He wondered how many needed peace just as much as these two tribes had. He felt that this moment was bigger than a single ceremony. It was a reminder that understanding could exist across different worlds. A gentle wind drifted across the balcony. The flowers in the distance swayed like waves. Lyra spoke again. She said that their tribes would remember this day. She said they would teach future generations about the human who chose unity over division. Vina added that the story would be shared across galaxies. She said that people needed examples of peaceful courage. Orion did not see himself as Samio.